Welcome everyone to another Marvel Crisis Protocol unboxing. Today is Rogue and Gambit. So being a child of the 90s, as in I grew up watching the 90s X-Men, I really love Marvel Crisis Protocol. All the themes of the models, all the paint schemes, all the little action phrases they have, very much of that era. And I was very much looking forward to Rogue and Gambit. I used to love Gambit's plucky nature, and I had a bit of a thing for Rogue when growing up. Yes, I know it's a cartoon. But yeah, really looking forward to these guys. So when they came out, gotta have them. So I picked these guys up from JK Games in Plymouth, in the southwest of the UK. If you're ever in that area, please check them out. Really, really, really nice guy is Jonathan, and you'll be talking hobby for hours. So super guy, great deals, and does stock a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is never a bad thing. So what do we know about Rogue and Gambit? So there's a little bit of a blurb on the back, as always, which I do love. So it starts off talking about Rogue. So Rogue, obviously not her real name. She wasn't born and christened Rogue. It's Anne-Marie. And in this particular pack is actually Anne-Marie LeBeau. For Rennie LeBeau is Gambit. And they do have a bit of a thing on and off for a while before they finally get hitched. So Rogue, a bit of a sad story in a way. Her mutant powers, if she has skin contact with somebody, she can sap their powers and make them very, very ill. Obviously, the longer she holds her, let's say, hands on somebody, then obviously the worse off they become. Can kill a person. And she's not really... Yes, she's a brawler. She likes to fight, but she never really wants to kill anybody. You know, she gets quite upset about herself because she can't have that physical intimacy that she's always wanted. So it's a bit sad, really. A bit sad. But she's got a lot of sass. She's from South America, the American South. And, yeah, like I said, she's got a bit of a mixed up past. And it even says here, Rogue fled her past life running away from the American South, and she started a career as a member of the Brotherhood of Mutants under Mystique. So she was easily persuaded by Mystique, and then she obviously saw the light and realised she was not fighting for good. So she became one of the X-Men. So yeah, she is definitely a brawler. She definitely loves a scrap. So she actually got her powers of flight and additional strength due to one of her first major encounters was with Carol Danvers, which is the original Ms. Marvel, who could fly and things like that. And she unfortunately sapped her strength and her ability to fly, putting Danvers actually in a coma for quite some time. But for some reason, those powers always stayed with her, whereas most of her other powers do dissipate. So she has sapped Wolverine's powers of regeneration in the past, like in the films, and she instantly heals. That only, lasts, a few hours, maybe a day or two. But the flight and the strength has always stayed with her. So next we go to Rennie LeBeau, which is Gambit. So he's always been a charming thief, shall we say. He's not a bad guy, but he definitely looks out for himself. And yeah, he has been a member of the Thieves Guild and the Marauders and you name it, Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Men. He gets around a bit, this guy. But he knows what's good deep down, really. He is charming. He's a bit Jack the Lad. But he's not a bad person, really. He's not a bad person, really. So his abilities are he can charge things with kinetic energy, making them explode or do additional damage. So he has a bow staff normally, which he puts a charge through. He likes to smack people with that, or leap around and smack the ground and give off like shock waves, things like that, the kinetic energy. But his favourite thing to do is charging up playing cards. Always has playing cards on him. Like I said, he's a bit of a gambler, bit of a thief. He likes to charge these up and throw them. And one of his unique abilities was always 52 card pickup when he used to charge the whole deck and rain upon somebody. So I always liked that in the cartoons. I always thought he was... I never liked straight lace kind of characters, like Cyclops was always really goody two shoes, whereas Gambit used to like that, a bit cheeky, a bit leery. But what do we get in the box? Well, let's hope we get some miniatures, right? Well, it does actually say 1 rogue, 1 Gambit, 2 bases, character stat cards, team tactics cards, a crisis card, and 9 tokens. So let's get into it. Okay, so in the instructions you'll find on the newer type, and there's some lovely artwork, but it does say check out the QR code or go to Atomic Mass Games documents to see the assembling instructions. So maybe they could write that on the box and save a tree possibly, but the artwork is pretty damn cool. So I really want to do a conversion. Rogue looks like she's blasting out some kind of robot coming out the other side holding an orb. I prefer the artwork kind of pose, in like her punching, rather than the orb in her hand. But that being said, the more I see this model, the more I think actually that is pretty cool. I have seen some pretty cool conversions out there. So when she's just flying on a clear stand, things like that. But actually I think I might stick to this after all. Whereas Gambit's pose, that's just ace. No pun intended. Just in a sweep of throwing 3 playing cards. They're obviously homing into a target somewhere. So in the little bag of miniatures. They say 2 bases, but you know the sprues always contain 4. And rogues in particular, that will stick over the top of a smooth base, presumably. Right, so you can see most of the model is actually the explosion. And she's just flying through it. Pretty cool. Like I said before, it's fairly good detail on these. I mean, you can see the face, but it's not like massive amounts of detail. It's not bad. It's not bad. So really thinly paints when painting the faces. Try to pick up as most as you can. And because this is a relatively new box, this is issue number 60, so it's a fairly recent edition. The plastics are slightly better quality wise. So the very first core box was okay, but as they progress it has got better. So good old classic, 4 options, and don't forget people, bottles and cans and cups and things like that. Don't chuck them away. I'm hoping to mass up a big collection of them and put them on one particular character space. So, who should we start with? Let's start with Gambit. Okay. So Gambit is 5 health, medium movement, size 2, he's like a standard human kind of size, and he costs 3 to have on your team. So his first attack is the bow staff, good old classic bow staff. Range 2, it's 4 dice for strength, and it's 0 energy cost. So after this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 energy. It's pretty good. So even if you miss and you don't do any damage, you just gain 1 energy. It's pretty good. But if you get a wild, it's push. If the target character is size 3 or less, before damage is dealt, it may be pushed away from this character small. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So if you really need that wild, there are some tricks to get that. Make it a bit more certain. Let's get a bit closer, shall we? Have to make the noises. Kinetic Ace. Range 3. It's 5 dice. And it's 0 cost. Another 0. It's nice to have 2 zeros, give you a bit more option. It's additional dice and it's a bit more range. But what can it do? After this attack is resolved, this character gains energy equal to the amount of damage dealt. On the wild, it has explosive. Before damage is dealt, other enemy characters within 2 of the target character suffers 1 damage. So auto suffering damage is pretty nice if people are clumping up. And like I said, for a 0, it's range 3 and 5 dice. That's not bad. And here we have the legendary 52 card pickup, which now goes from a physical attack to an energy attack. It's a beam 4, which is pretty strong. It's 5 dice, and it's 4 energy. So yeah, it's only 5 dice, whereas that's 5 dice and it's a free cost. That's slightly more range and it's a beam, so if you really can get those targets. On the wild, you also have a flurry of cards. When making this attack, each wild in the attack counts as 2 successes. You may think it's a bit strong. You know, it's 4 energy to do only a 5 dice attack. But if someone's really clumping up and you can get a beam, yeah, that's not bad after all. So, on the powers side of things, I've zoomed in too far now. Okay. Accelerated charge for 3 energy. During the next attack action made by this character, add 2 dice to its attack rolls. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's probably best to do it in a beam to get more bang for your buck. Not necessarily doing it on bow staff. And it's going to be more late in the game because it costs 3 energy to do it. A little something extra. Now this is the rule I really, really like. After this character rolls attack dice, it may use this superpower. This character may change one of its hits to a crit. And it only costs 1 to do it. And it doesn't say once per turn or once per attack. So if you're using the bow staff and you really, really wanted that push and you've only got a hit, you can spend 1 to push someone away. It just makes him more reliable. Or if you really want the 5 dice flurry of cards even, yeah, there is more of a chance for you to get that wild. That's pretty nice. I think it's strong. It's a strong ability. It only costs 1 per, obviously. So if you have a few in there, why not? Okay. Especially when making attack, each wild counts as 2 successes. So really, maybe hold on for 52 card pickup. Let's say there's 3 people in that beam. You spend 3 dice for accelerated charge, so you're rolling, instead of 5 dice, you're rolling 7 dice. And you do have a little bit of energy left over, then yeah, definitely get those little something extras out. It's quite nice. So, enhanced agility. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, this character may use this superpower. The attacking character suffers 1 damage. This character may advance away from the attacking character small. So, it's 2 energy. Basically, if you're still alive, he can do chip damage. If you need to get away, that's nice as well. Maybe hide around a building or something so you're less likely to be targeted if you're getting low in health. Or if someone's got 1 health and they decide to attack you. Do they really want to attack you? As long as he's still conscious, active and moving, you know, why not use enhanced agility? So, as long as he's not dazed or KO'd, if you've got 1 health and he's got 2 energy on him, do you really, really want to attack Gambit? Probably not. So he started off with 5 health on the healthy side, and he is 5 on the other side. And that I know of, everything looks exactly the same, which is always nice. Real easy to take stock there. Okay, so he's got some tricks. Gambit's not bad. I mean, he costs 3, and I think as long as he's got energy, he's going to be a problem. You know, I mean, his range is okay, it's not bad. He's not bad in close combat either, but it's all about the tricks with him. So if he can get those wilds off, brilliant. If he has got energy, he's pretty strong. I mean, like I said, if you've got 1 health and he's got 2 energy on him, don't attack him. Just don't attack him. Okay, so then we have a Rogue. So Rogue, she's a bit more resilient. She has got 6 health, medium movement. She's also a size 2. But she costs 4 to have on your team. She has 4 physical defense, whereas Gambit has the 3, 3 and 3 across the board, which is pretty standard for a regular old 3-cost character. Rogue is a bit more hardy. She has a 4, 3 and a 3. And the first attack here is Absorbing Strike. So it's range 2, 5 dice, 0 cost. Before choosing a target, this character chooses whether the attack type is a physical or energy. That's pretty nice. So it's nice to have a few free tricks like that. If you're going against, let's say, Carnage, you really wouldn't want to hit his physical defense. But energy, I believe, is only 1. So why not? After this attack is resolved, this character gains energy equal to the amount of damage dealt. It's always nice. And on a wild, she has Sap Power. Before damage is dealt, the target character loses energy for each wild in the attack roll, and this character gains that amount of energy. So it's before damage is dealt, so if you hit someone and you get a wild and they don't have any energy on them, you're not sapping anything. If they have a couple of energy, it's always nice to take that away, you gain it yourself, and then you could possibly do a bigger attack. I mean, even if they block and the defensive stops it, a wild is pretty nice. Sapping their energy is going to mess up their plans, even if you can't damage them. So, Southern Hospitality, range 2, 7 dice, and it's 3 energy. If the target character is size 4 or less, after this attack is resolved, it may be thrown small. So you don't have to get a wild or anything. You can, if you wanted to, throw a model. Throwing's great. Throw them into a building, any other piece of terrain, or another character. Yeah, pretty nice. Plus, even if you don't kill them, you're getting them off that objective, and that's what the game is really about, objective scoring. I mean, it's nice to take models off the table, but it is all about objective scoring. So, she has an ability called Charge, which is an action. So this costs 1 of her actions, so you can only do 2 actions in a character's turn, generally. This character immediately makes a move action followed by an attack action. This superpower can only be used once per turn. It costs 2 energy. So basically, normally, if someone's miles away, you would have to move, and then you have no attacks probably left to beat somebody up. With this, you can move, and then spend 2 to use Charge, which is a move and an attack rolled into 1. It's pretty nice. Marvelous Strength. You see what they did there? Yeah, I thought so. Choose an interactive terrain feature size 4 or less and within 2 and throw it medium. This superpower can only be used once per turn. So it's a standard 3 energy to throw something up to size 4. Really strong. If you're throwing size 4, it's potentially 5 damage there, and you can get a piece of terrain out of the way. Why not? Now it's interesting that it is only terrain feature. For some reason she can't pick up models. Maybe she doesn't want to touch other models. I don't know. Mutant Absorption. So it costs 2 energy. Choose an enemy character within range 2 of this character. You roll 5 dice, and that character loses energy equal to the number of crits, wilds, and hits results. If the chosen character would lose more energy than it has, it then starts taking damage. The chosen character does not gain any energy for any damage suffered in this way. So that's pretty good. Worst case scenario, you're taking someone's energy away. Best case scenario, you're taking their energy away and you start doing damage. If they've got no energy on them, fantastic, you could finish them off, because it gives straight through the defenses for every crit, hit, and wild. Which is always nice anyway. But remember, even if you don't do some serious damage on these guys, it's not a big deal, because you're not really losing anything, they're not gaining. That's the important thing. You're taking their energy away, which is always nice. You're taking their health away, even better. And they're not gaining energy. So let's say you only take, you roll extremely badly, you don't take any energy away, you don't do any damage, they don't gain anything out of that. If you do a little bit of chip damage, you still don't gain. It's a win-win, really. It's a win-win. So if it was me, I would move, and then possibly do a charge, followed by an attack, because I'm still definitely within 2. I do like Mutant Absorption. I think it's really fun. So here we have her innate passive superpowers. Kree Mutant Physiology. So Miss Marvel obviously had Kree DNA rolling around in there somewhere, and it obviously passed on. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount of damage suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. Someone does 2 damage to you, sorry, that's only 1 damage. That being baked in all the time is so good. Okay, and she also has flight and immunity to poison. You've got someone out there like Viper or a Mega Red. Yeah, Mega Red can't do his 2 auto damage. So good. So she starts with 6 health, and on her injured side she is still the old 6 health. Nothing changes there from what I can see. All her abilities are exactly the same. So next is the Team Tactics cards. So we have Dark Past, unaffiliated and reactive. During the power phase, if your squad is not using the Uncanny X-Men affiliation, Gambit may play this card. So as long as Gambit's not with the X-Men, so Brotherhood of Mutants for example, hence that's why the artwork has Sabretooth in it, each allied character within range 3 of Gambit gains the stealth superpower into the end of the round. So stealth means you cannot be targeted by attacks outside of range 3. It's not bad, but I will be using him a lot with X-Men. So next we have Mind If I Cut In, which is unaffiliated, active. Rogue may play this card this round when an enemy character is choosing the target character for a non-areaed, non-beam attack, and Rogue is in range and line of sight. The enemy character may spend 1 energy. If they do not, the attack must target Rogue if possible. So it's not a big deal. So it's non-beam attacks, non-line of sight attacks, things like that. So it's kind of like a bodyguard, but Rogue can step in, yes, granted, but you can stop it. What we're going to do is spend 1 energy and it attacks Rogue. So it's kind of like, if you've got no energy on you, it is a bodyguard. But if you do have 1 energy on you, you can just deny it. So it's not fantastic, in my opinion anyway. Pardon me, Sugar. So obviously Sugar is a catchphrase from Rogue. Or Southern twang. I'm sorry, I'm totally murdering that accent. During Rogue's activation, she may play this card. Select one of the following effects. If Wolverine is within range 2 of Rogue, Rogue gains the healing factor 2 superpower. This activation, which is not bad, it's 1 activation, so you want to do it at the beginning, obviously, so at the end of it, you would then heal 2. It is what it is, but you've got to be close to Wolverine. Wolverine suffers 1 damage. It's not a problem, because if then Wolverine does activate, obviously you can heal that anyway. So, okay, it's a very situational card, by the way. If Cyclops is in range 2 of Rogue, Rogue may use his Optic Blast. That's pretty cool, and Cyclops obviously suffers 1 damage. So you can see what's going on here. If Storm is within range 2 of Rogue, Rogue adds 2 dice to attack rolls for her next action. That's pretty nice. I do like that. And Rogue obviously causes Storm to suffer 1 damage. If Deadpool is within range 2 of Rogue, choose an enemy character within range 2 of Rogue. The chosen character loses 2 energy. Okay, Deadpool suffers 1 damage. So basically she's using the Merc with her mouth, which is Deadpool's ability, making people lose energy. If Magneto is within range 2 of Rogue, she gains cover against all attacks targeting her this round. Magneto obviously suffers 1 damage. So she saps their ability and dishes out 1 damage. So it doesn't say if the Wolverine, for example, or the Cyclops, or the Storm, or the Deadpool, or the Magneto has to be enemy. So don't worry about them if they're not on your team. If you're going against Wolverine, for example, you can sap his healing factor. It's pretty nice. Or sapping Cyclops' blast. So if you're playing with X-Men, it's good. Playing against X-Men, it's pretty good. Going against Magneto's Brotherhood or with him, not bad either. So as long as a Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, or Deadpool or Magneto is on the table, this card will do something. So if you know who you're going against, that's not a bad card. If you don't know who you're going against, probably don't take the card. So, Charming Thief. unaffiliated, reactive. During the power phase, Gambit may play this card. He may not play this card, but he may play this card. This round, when an enemy character within 4 of Gambit uses a superpower that's attacking or reactive, Gambit gains 1 energy after the effect is resolved. He might not be alive by that stage, so it's not the kind of card I would be taking. So yes, if you really, really want 1 energy, fantastic, but it's got to be after the attack is resolved. Also not a card I would probably play. So you got 4 cards here. Dark Past, Mind If I Cut In, Pardon Me Sugar, and Charming Thief. I do think I probably won't be playing any of those cards. Dark Past is if Gambit's not with the X-Men. Mind If I Cut In is a poor man's bodyguard. Pardon Me Sugar, you've got to know who you're playing against or playing with. So if you've got an X-Men team, I'm probably going to have Storm as my leader, so that's not bad. Storm's ability gives 2 dice to her next attack action. It's the one I would probably use the most. Cyclops is sometimes in my team. Wolverine, I do love the model, I do love the lore, I love the guy. But for me, when he's dazed and he doesn't pick up those objectives, is a bit of a big deal. And I don't dislike Deadpool either, so maybe not hope that you're playing against X-Men or Brotherhood. Take her with X-Men or Brotherhood. And Charming Thief, yeah, you're going to be in range 4, which is fine, that's easily done, but it's after the attack is resolved. Okay, so then we come down to the Crisis card that comes in this pack. So it is a big old 20. Superpowered scoundrels form Sinister Syndicate. Yeah, how many drinks do you have to drink before you can't say that? The setup is 5 ambush tokens, so as map F, and the scoring is players score 1 victory point for each ambush they secure during the cleanup phase. Characters contesting an ambush token have cover from attacks made by characters not contesting the same ambush token. It's not bad, it's 20 points. There's no real downside, like spider foes when people move you around, knock you about. 'Cause that just irritates me, especially if I've got like a slow force. But yeah, it is what it is. 20 points, sometimes you might not want to give the big old 20 for your team building to your opponent. If they've got Black Order, yeah, you want to go down to about 14 really. But yeah, it's a simple one. It's 5 ambush tokens that can give cover. So it's not bad, it's not bad. So I'm really looking forward to assembling these models and playing them. Like I said, the Team Tactics cards are okay. I would say there's only 1 out of 4 that I would play. And that's only if Rogue is in X-Men for me. But really, really can't wait to assemble these guys and paint them up. I think they're super, super fun. Remind me of my childhood. And Rogue is a beat stick. You know, she can take that damage. She's fairly fast moving. She can throw stuff around. And Gambit, he's got some tricks up his sleeve that really help you secure those wilds. You still need to get a hit off. So if you don't get a wild, you still got to get that hit to change it for 1 energy. But I think that's a pretty cool ability. Yeah, really looking forward to painting these up and putting them in some of our battle reports coming out soon. So that being said, if you enjoy this and Marvel's your thing, or you think about getting into Marvel, please check out our Marvel Crisis Protocol battle reports. I think we've done 3 or 4 at the moment. So far we've never had the same team twice, as in versus. So we might have had Cabal versus Avengers, or Cabal versus Defenders, I believe it was. But we've never had the same combo twice, not as yet. And we'll soon be getting new players on the channel. So look out for Mr. Andrew Brown, who is a very, very strong Marvel Crisis Protocol gamer from the Southwest, and he'll be on the channel soon. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope this video made sense. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave any comments in the box below. and subscribe if you haven't done already. Stay safe, everyone. Take care.